What's going on, YouTube? College Keto Kid back with you today, and today I'm going to be bringing you my first tip video, if you will. I'm going to be giving you guys 3 tips that I wish I would have known back when I first started keto. Like I said, this is my second time around being on keto. First time around I lost 76 pounds, so hopefully I was doing something right. Clearly I was doing something right. And I just want to help you guys not make kind of the same mistakes that I did when I first started off on keto. I will, however, say, full disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. Please consult your doctor if you have any questions on whether you can be on keto or not. Is keto a right fit for me? Should I be doing keto? Is it healthy to do keto for me? I've consulted with 2 of my doctors, and they have both said that they are on the keto train, that if your body feels perfectly normal and acceptable to the diet, by all means go ahead and do it. Just make sure you do it safely. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it, kind of balance yourself, if you will. Tip number 1 that I like to start off with, make sure you download or write down or find somewhere where you can track or write down your macros, your protein, your fat, your calories, and your carbs. Now, the app that I personally use is called Carb Manager. It's on the iOS store, it's on the Android store. Don't know if it's on the Windows store, don't know if you guys use a Windows phone. If you do, it's kind of weird, but you want to make sure that you download an app that can track your carbs or track your macros, in total. Carb Manager is 100% free. They're not sponsoring this video. I personally just, found it, 2 or 3 months in my last run in keto and loved it and used it through my whole journey until I stopped. Coming back onto keto, first app I re-downloaded as soon as I came back on it. It allows you to input your weight and your height and your gender, and it gives you kind of a rough guesstimation of where your macro should sit at. So how many grams of protein, how many grams of carbs, how many grams of fat I should be eating, all this and that, and all that in a bag of chips. So Carb Manager, or any macro manager, macro tracker, if you will, if you don't have a phone or don't really want to download an app, your phone doesn't have enough space, write the stuff that you eat down, try and write the macros down. Make sure that you just keep track for the first at least couple weeks when you're doing so. Make sure that you are fully aware of how many carbs you're eating. The ideal kind of area you want to be in is around 30 carbs. So 30 grams or less. For me personally, Carb Manager tells me don't go above 27, and I need to consume 191 grams of fat a day. I'm also 6 feet tall, 260 pounds now. So yeah, I clearly want to have a lot different of a macro setup than you guys. Also, it'll ask you how much weight you're looking to lose. I have it set to, I want to lose 20% of my body fat within a month, I believe is what I set it to. It's 20% of something. So just, make sure that you're tracking all the stuff that you need to do, and make sure you're careful. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. Make sure you just keep yourself balanced, whether it be with this diet, any diet. Key is moderation. So that was my first tip. Tip number 2 that I'd like to give you guys: when you're cooking, frying, doing anything, you don't want to use anything similar to a vegetable oil, a canola oil, a corn oil. All those oils have, some type of carb in them, like obviously corn is corn oil, canola is canola oil. Vegetable is made with soybeans. So you're going to want to be careful with those oils, just because of the fact that they are inflammatories, and keto is essentially an anti-inflammatory diet. So if you're frying that stuff, if it's like the only thing that you have at your mom's house or the only thing that you have in your house as of right now, and you can't really afford to go out and purchase, at a minimum, like an extra virgin olive oil, I get it. Go ahead and use it, but as soon as you can, at a minimum, get an extra virgin olive oil. This size right here from Walmart cost me about $3.50, and I've had this for about, I want to say a month or two. Ideally, you want to use something like an extra virgin or a cold pressed coconut oil. This is not cold pressed or extra virgin or anything like that, but it is just a basic coconut oil that I get 2 tubs of, $10 at Walmart. It's got the MCT oil in it that is, really good for you on keto. MCTs are basically a certain strand of a gene in coconuts and a certain strand of like fat that is super good and anti-inflammatory for keto. So ideally you want to use coconut oil or avocado, grapeseed oil, all those oils that are obviously going to cost you like $10-$20, Check your local Ross or TJ Maxx, stuff like that, Marshalls. If you guys have any of those in your area, those typically have some of those oils that are super cheap. I went to my local Ross the other day when I was looking to try and get an example for this video. I personally knew I didn't need oil, so I didn't go ahead and buy it, but I saw a probably liter worth of grapeseed oil. I think it was like $15, which isn't terrible if you think about how big a liter is. I'm in America, so I have to convert that into the metric system, but that's for a later time, obviously. So, just be careful in the oils that you're using and the oils that you're beginning to cook in when you're starting keto. Like I said, if vegetable oil, corn oil, canola oil is all you have and that you're strapped for cash and that's what you need to use for the time being, use it for the time being, but just be careful, guys. Just make sure that when you get the chance, at least at a minimum, get olive oil. Or even cook in butter, but make sure you get a higher quality butter. But butter doesn't last as long either. Or a ghee if you're lactose intolerant. Ghee is dehydrated butter. Basically, they take all the milk fats out of it so you're not allergic to it. Me personally, I'm lactose intolerant, so if you guys see me making a recipe and you think, oh hey, cheese would be great on this, go ahead, by all means put your cheese on it. It's not something that I'm going to eat because I know I will destroy my stomach by eating so. Tip number 3 that I want to give you guys is kind of a callback to my first tip, but just be careful and balance yourself out. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. Don't sit there and think, hey, I need to be adding 4 or 5 tablespoons of coconut oil or olive oil to my foods to make sure my fat gets up there, and I need to make sure that I eat absolutely 0 carbs. You're going to want to eat some carbs, obviously. That's why you're kind of allowed to eat the 20 grams of carbs. Because those carbs you're actually going to get from veggies or avocados or anything like that you're consuming throughout your day. So you're going to want to make sure that you just balance yourself out. Like I said, track your macros and be careful. When I was first starting off on keto, my first time around, oh my man, thinking about it, I was adding 2 tablespoons of coconut oil to every food that I made. My eggs would come out in the morning and covered and soaked in oil. There would be like a whole little puddle of oil at the bottom of my bowl that I was eating my eggs out of. It was just not a good look and not a good thing to be doing. Now looking back at it and looking and thinking of, hey, why was I doing that? It's kind of a wake-up call, if you will, for me. Like, hey, I need to make sure that I track my foods. So I use my carb manager to make sure that everything is balanced. As Thanos says, as all things should be, perfectly balanced. You want to make sure that it doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but you want to make sure that you're near it or around it, if you undereat foods, you know, you could lose a little bit more weight because you're putting yourself at a bigger calorie deficit, but, you know, it's not always the healthiest thing to do. So, like I said, guys, these are just some beginning tips that I wanted to put on YouTube for you guys, and kind of to give myself a little introduction to the YouTube realm and what I want to be doing video-wise. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you guys disliked it, leave a dislike. All comments are, you know, good comments, if you will. If you want to give me some constructive criticism, if you want to tell me, hey, you did this bad, you did that bad, you did this good, you did this good, let me know. I appreciate all feedback in the comment section down below. Thank you guys. Keep it keto.